Sorry for this technical glitch. We had to restart the camera because of mic problem. This is June the 11th, Wednesday, 2025. And we are in BBIS second semester English class. And before I restarted the camera, we were talking about what we had done in the previous class. And I said that in the previous class, we skimmed from chapter 2 to chapter 7 or 8. And the major question that those chapters answered was, how can we gather relevant information for writing our essays? And I said there are two ways to gather relevant information for writing an essay. One is you gather information by taking notes. And I said, you take notes when you listen to someone. Right now, I'm speaking to you, and if you are noting down something, then you are taking note. Another way of gathering relevant information is making note. So you make notes when you read or research. When you note down listening to someone, you are taking note. But when you are not listening to someone, you are reading something and noting down from the reading, from the book or magazine, journal, then you are making note, right? So either we gather information by listening to someone or something. You may be watching a television and listening to the speaker on the TV set and note down. Or you may be browsing the internet and note down. When you browse the internet and note down, you are making a note. When you watch a video channel, and you note down, you are taking note. When your notes are based on hearing, you take notes. When your notes are based on seeing and reading, you make notes. Okay. And then we also read that taking note is primarily based on listening. Who do you listen to? You listen to your lecturer. And we also read that in the university, most of the time, you will see somebody is speaking to you in the classroom. You will listen. So listening is the most important skill that you should develop at the university. You should be good at listening. You know, I was reading a book yesterday, about 300-page book. It was about how to teach writing. And as I was reading, I had this difficulty. What difficulty? I was reading the book. I finished the chapter. But then, as I finished the chapter, I had no notes. Then I realized, oh, I spent about 4 hours reading this chapter, and now I have no note. I realized. Then I went back to the chapter again. I read it second time. In the second time, I finished 1 hour. And what I did, second time, I'll read a paragraph, and I'll ask myself, what do I understand from this paragraph? My mind will say that I understand this thing, and I'll note down. Now, second time, I had about 3-page note. It was about 30-40 page chapter. Now I had 3-page note. So my simple point is that I'll suggest you in life, whenever you're a student, whenever you read for academic purpose, not for pleasure. There are two types of readings. Reading for academic purpose and reading for pleasure. You might be traveling in a train or aeroplane, and you pick up a book and you read to pass time. Then you don't make note. That's for pleasure. But if you're reading for academic purpose, you have to pass examinations based on the book, you make notes. So never read without making notes. Always have a pen, circle, underline, annotate in the margin, note down what's, because every time we read, we understand. And the problem with understanding is that we forget it quickly. So in order to avoid forgetting, what you understand, you note down, so that next time you come back, you can quickly view the notes and know the subject. So I was saying that there are lectures, and we also read that lectures have structure. They have introduction, Like I began by telling you what I'm going to do. Now look, right now what I'm doing, I am recapturing the previous lesson. If you have observed throughout the year, I often do this. Every day I start my class, I begin my class by talking about the previous class, so that I can connect the previous class with this class. See the structure of my lecture. So I began first by reminding you what we did in the previous class, right? Now, in this class, I will take you to section 2 of the book. There are 4 sections, right? There are 4 sections. And if you see the curriculum, just a minute, let me open the curriculum for you. Just a minute. If you see the curriculum, chapter 2 to 7, I guess, are about gathering relevant information, right? Now, chapter 8 to 15 or 16, section 2 are about understanding the context and practices at the university. Though I feel this is not so important to you, we should have kept another thing about writing. Okay, this is more theory. Okay. So we have understanding the context and practices relating to academic writing. Where you do this writing, with whom you do this writing, who does the writing, and what things do you do as part of academic writing, how to meet the standards. Understand. See, academic writing has a standard. There is a tradition of writing. You must meet that standard. You cannot write as you want. No, there are rules, right? Where you will place the heading, how you will close. For example, if you write a job application, it is a rule, right? If you write cover letter, it is a rule. It's very rigid, it is very rule-based kind of writing. Let's get into the chapters and have a quick skimming. So now what I will do, I will run through the lessons. I said literally I will run through the lessons. And you will try to catch me up and note down whatever I show you. I won't deal in detail. I'll show you the topics and headings and subheadings which are what are there. And while doing so, I might also explain something. You try to understand me and note down. When you go home, once again come back to your book at home and have one more skimming. So organizing yourself for writing. See the word organizing. This means academic, when you say organizing yourself for writing, this means you need to plan. Academic writing requires careful planning. Planning takes place before writing takes place. For example, right now what we are doing, we are planning. Getting ideas come under planning. When you plan, you generate ideas. You are not writing, you are making notes. Although that is also kind of writing, but that's not actual, you are not making a draft. So you need to organize, you need to plan, right? How to use your time effectively to ensure successful completion of assignments. One problem in the university is, students, they have procrastination. Tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll submit it tomorrow. And they do not finish things on time. So how you can use time effectively? Maybe you can make a plan, you can schedule timetable. Now this paragraph, I told you that the first paragraph with which a chapter opens, this is topic paragraph. We call this topic paragraph. Let's read the topic paragraph and we will know the main idea of this chapter. Time is of essence in the process of writing for academic purpose. So this first sentence says time. So that means this chapter will focus on time, right? It can be wasted or simply evaporate because of lack of personal organization. Second, as a student at the university, you should have an organizer. Maybe there is an app in a mobile phone that helps you organize, or maybe you have a calendar. In the previous chapter, if you remember, you read one thing. They said that you buy a diary in the previous chapter, if you remember. They said you buy a diary and use that diary for planning your academic study, right? Inevitably, this jeopardizes the quality of the writing, because you read last time in first semester the essay how the web is destroying the quality of students' writing. In that essay, the author said that students do not do things on time. They delay, they postpone. And when there is a deadline, you have to submit the essay tomorrow, then one night before, they log into internet and they copy and paste, right? So what happens then? The quality of writing goes down, as David Rosenberg said. This chapter suggests ways in which you can take control of any writing task and so overcome procrastination. What is procrastination? I have this habit. It took me almost 9-10 years to complete one degree. I got admission in 2014. I cleared all the papers by 2016. I didn't do my thesis. I was so lazy, I will keep postponing, and I submitted a thesis in 2024 with the special chance. Otherwise, my degree was gone. Look, here is an example of procrastination. Don't do that. It brings a lot of loss, right? So don't do that. Procrastination, delaying, I'll do it tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes. Disorganization and lack of understanding about how to focus. So we read this paragraph, topic paragraph, and what we know, this chapter will talk about how to manage time at the university. Now, what are the key topics? You can see the key topics here. What are they? Being realistic. Don't be over ambitious. Don't plan too much. Do not try to do a lot of things. You will do nothing. Right? Then make a sequence of work. What will you do first? Write down, I'll do this first, I'll do this second. Make a sequence, right? And then begin by gathering information, right? We are doing right now. What we are doing right now, we are trying to read the lesson and gathering. You are making note on the paper, that is gathering information, working from the material. And then once you have the notes, start writing sentences from the notes and writing paragraphs. What are the key terms? Aspect. Aspect is just a facet or facade of something, like this side, aspect. Restriction, control. Virtual learning environment. I don't know what you have here, but VLE means like videos or audios or digital technology. Okay, now I won't get into the paragraphs. I might simply pick some points that I've highlighted and explain. Otherwise, I'll move fast. I'll go to boxes and explain you. Being realistic about time for writing. Being realistic means make a practical plan. Do not try to do a lot of things, because academic writing is lengthy and complex. It's not a simple writing. It takes time, and it's lengthy and it's complex kind of writing, right? You will be assessed for writing, you will get grade. So such writing takes time, right? And you should be able to calculate how much time it will take, right? And see whether you have available time or not. Okay, step 1. So what do you do first? Suppose today is June 11th, 2025, all right? And Divakar sir says that submit the essay by June 16, 2025. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You have 6 days. So calculate clearly how much time do you have from the assignment to the submission date, right? And you have 6 days. Now write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then write what you will do on day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. And before you go to bed, check your checklist. Have I done the task? No, don't sleep. Do it first. This is called commitment, which most of you don't have. You give preference to your personal things, personal tasks. You don't give preference to studies, right? Not everybody, some of you. That's not a good thing, right? plan effectively. So how do you plan effectively? Calculate time and then divide the time into units. Task and time. I'll do this task Sunday, this task Monday, this task Tuesday, this task Wednesday, this task Thursday, Friday I'll submit the assignment. So why planning is important? Because it saves time. When you plan, you can save time. You can break down the question into different elements, right? Okay, the teacher gives a question, like Divakar sir says that write an essay on what is academic writing. Then you have this question, what is academic writing? Then number 1, you say gathering information, 2 days. Okay. Number 2, writing first draft. Okay, 2 days. Number 3, revising first draft, 2 days. Okay, 6 days. Day 7, final essay, submit. You plan when you are doing what, right? So as you see here, gathering information, processing information. What is processing information? In gathering stage, you note down almost everything you find. In processing, you filter. Oh, these ideas are not necessary, I will remove them. Oh, I forgot this point, I'll add that point. Creating a text is when you pick up the pen and you write paragraphs. Paragraphs. In note taking, you don't have paragraphs, you have points, you have phrases, you have words, phrases, not paragraphs. When do you write paragraphs? When you write the first draft. And then developing future idea means you will revise, you will check for spelling, you will check for punctuation, you will check for grammar, you will check for ideas. There are 2 things you can check for. One language, one ideas. In language you do 3 things. Check spelling very carefully. You can run a spell checker on laptop if you are working on Word and do it quickly. These days laptop softwares, MS Office softwares, they check spelling for you, they check punctuation for you, even they check grammar. There is a software like Grammarly. You can use Grammarly, a free subscription, to correct your grammatical errors. Ideas, you can use AI these days. You just copy and paste your essay to Google Gemini and invite Google Gemini, say, evaluate my essay, how good is it? And just tell how good my ideas are. Maybe Google Gemini will do a lot of help, but some people think that using AI to do such things is not good. Okay. They say that it kills your creativity and it's plagiarizing. So how do you gather information? We have been doing that. Consult a handbook. Look, right now we are consulting this handbook in our course for task information, right? Maybe sometimes Divakar sir might say that read this book, and he will give the name of the book. He will tell where you can get the book, right? So get the book and then obtain the information by reading it, right? You saw this in chapter 2. And then, okay, look at the material, what to note down. Step 3, research, right? Step 4, read the material. See, get the book and look at the material relevant, what is useful. 3rd, then research and obtain relevant material. 4th, read the material. See, at the university, nothing happens without reading. Nothing happens without reading. Those students win who read regularly. You may not like my words, you may be angry with me, I might sound harsh, I don't know, but I should speak the truth. Among you 25 people here, after 4 years you will see that some of you will be far ahead and some of you will be down there. Why? Because some of you read a lot. So right now you are in 2nd semester, please understand, those of you will develop a lot who read a lot at the university, right? Okay. Now here is a 12-step approach to academic writing. Look, how can you plan? How can you save your time? There are 12 steps. We'll see them carefully and understand. Okay. Step 1, consult the course book or module handbook. Right now we are doing that. Right? Then what do? Verify assignment date. Note down the deadline. Analyze nature and wording of assignment. Read the assignment very carefully. Each word. Does it say discuss? Does it say explain? Does it say narrate? Does it say describe? Does it say give the cause of the effect? Does it say define? Does it say exemplify? Does it say elucidate? What are the key words? And then use AI. Ask them, okay, I have an assignment given by my English teacher, and write the assignment. And tell the AI, could you please explain the key words from this assignment? What do I need to do? And maybe the AI will tell you, elucidate means this thing, right? Then note learning outcomes for the assignment. Not happening here, but sometimes teacher will give you clearly an indication that when you finish this assignment, you should be able to do these things, right? Like for example, you should be able to formulate a thesis statement, you should be able to compose discussion paragraphs, you should be able to write introduction, you should be able to write conclusion, you should be able to write reference section, like that. Step 2, identify relevant recommended material. Create lecture note or lab notes. Here we are doing lecture notes. Right now I am explaining and noting down. Consult reading list. What is reading list? You ask your teacher, sir, what books do I need to read? Or you go to online library and type your assignment, and maybe the AI or any program will tell you, if this is the assignment, read these books, right? And then you set also time. You note time here, how much time you will spend. Research, obtain material, access source material via on-site library or online. These days, for example, I've never been to a library. I never go to library because I feel sometimes that I can get more books online than in the on-site. Though some people might think that the books we get online are unethical because they breach copyright. But I do agree they breach copyright. It's immoral to download books like that. But I read books which I get online, right? Read material. This step is very crucial, right? Frame notes. As you read, frame notes, write notes. And then, analyze wording of assignment, identify what you are being instructed, understand what your teacher is telling you to do, reflect on the topic, think. This is think. Read, think. Step 4, read. Step 6, think. Evaluate the response that you will construct. Okay, decide what you will say, what you will write. Step 7, plan your writing now. Look, up to here you were reading, right? Plan your writing. Ensure good fit with the standard framework. Make sure that you have good paragraphs. Make sure your paragraphs have connection, good sentences. Create a first draft. You sit down and write, and you have 1 page, 2 page writing. Shape your academic writing style. Use critical thinking and avoid plagiarism. Do not copy paste. If you copy exact word from the book, put within inverted comma, give bracket, give page number. Every time you copy exact words, give page number. Step 10, review text for submission. Before you give it to teacher, read 2-3 times with a pen in your hand. You will spot spelling errors, correct them. You will feel like moving text from back and forth, right? Review text, edit and proofread. Consider feedback. Now, maybe you gave your essay to your friend. Your friend may have given you comments. Read that. Maybe you gave the essay to your teacher. Your teacher may have given you comments. Feedback. Assess how to modify content and technique for inclusion in your future written assignments. 12. Modify academic writing for exam conditions. Use feedback to contribute to revision and to adjust writing for exam purposes. This feedback is finally by the teacher. So these are the 12 steps. So this is step 11, 12, developing future writing. You prepare for the examination now, right? Now these steps 11, 12, developing future writing. And then step 6 to 10, creating the text, reflect the topic, plan writing, create first draft, reference list, review for submission, creating text. Then step 2 to step 9, processing information, right? Getting material, researching, reading, analyzing, reflecting, planning, creating draft, and creating reference list. And then finally, step 1 through 5, gathering information. Now you can write here, okay, day 1, or let's say you think I will take more time gathering information, 2 days for gathering information, processing 1 day. You decide time, right? 2 days for gathering, 1 day for processing, and then 1 day for creating, and 1 day for developing future writing, and then you submit in 5 or 6 days. I said this is 11th day today, and I said you will submit by 16th, so we have 6 days, you can plan accordingly. This is very important step, so I spent time explaining. Okay, keeping on track. Every time, every night before you go to bed, look on the ceiling and ask yourself, have I done today's work? If not, do not go to bed. Jump out. Wash your face. If you feel sleepy, take a cold bath. But make a promise, I will never sleep until I finish my assignments. That will develop you. No, I don't know. You may be angry with me, you may be happy with me, but I'm telling you things which I believe are good things. You may like my words, you may not like my words, right? But I'm telling you things which make students improve themselves. Okay, so keeping track means you have a plan, day 1, day 2, day 3, and before you go to bed, you ask yourself, did I finish the task today? No, I'll skip the sleep, but I'll do the assignment. Working from the material, right? Step 4, you write. Working, you have this material on the page I gave you, you have notes. Now work from this. You pick up an idea, okay, argument. Academic writing is based on argument. And argument means making a claim. After making claim, we bring reasons to support the claim. We also bring evidences. Academic writing is very difficult because it makes argument. What I did, I wrote a paragraph, 5 sentences, right? Okay. So always understand what is the instruction. Like Dibakar sir said that first in these pages you will show how you gathered information. Stage 1. Stage 2, you will write the first draft. Stage 3, you will give a draft to your friend in the class. Last time I told you do that. I don't know if you have done that. I said that you take your friend's writing and use green ink, red ink, and write comments. Do you remember? Do you remember? You don't remember. You don't remember. Why would you remember? Last week I said, submit your essays to your friend and they will take your essays home. And I said, go to Google Gemini and write this prompt. My English teacher has asked me to review an essay written by my friend, but I do not know how we review essay by my friend. So could you please tell what things I should consider when I review my friend's first draft? And Google Gemini will give you points. Look for spelling, look for grammar, look for punctuation, look for ideas, and then look for that. I told you this thing last week, over there, down there. Do you remember? No? Now I'm telling it now. Maybe I told this to BBA people. Now I'm telling you, right? Maybe I did this in BBA people. To you, I feel like I told this to you. It's all right. So understand the instruction very clearly. What the teacher wants you to do, right? The topic, what is academic writing? We will write an essay on the topic, what is academic writing? And that essay will summarize the 19 chapters from this book. in 2 or 3 pages. What is the aspect of the topic? Leave that. What restrictions are imposed? The teacher might say, don't do this thing. So understand what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do. Okay, example assignment analysis. Here is an example. Task. Assess the importance of post. Okay, leave that. Not relevant to us. Instruction. Leave. I won't deal with that. Not irrelevant. As we read, we decide what is relevant. If something is important for us, we pay time. Instruction, okay. Do, analyze, argue. Okay. Look here. This is important. Instruction words. Does the teacher say account, give an account? If the assignment says give an account, means you describe it now. If the assignment says account for, you are supposed to give reason. Look, the words in the assignment and the meaning. I was looking at you over there. You were busy over there, so I was looking at you when you come back. Okay. Say it. Pay attention to the teachers in the class. There are windows, I know, and there are windows, and outside windows there are beautiful world, right? And sometimes that world outside the window is so appealing, right? We feel like not listening to teachers. But develop this habit that you will listen to the teacher. So I was saying, words in the assignment or instruction, meaning, analyze, give an organized answer looking at all aspects. What is analysis? Looking at all aspects. Apply. What does apply mean? Put a theory into operation. Assess. Decide the value or importance of something. Brief account. Describe in a concise way. Comment on. Give your opinion. Look, if your assignment has these words, this is what you're supposed to do. Many times we do not understand these words in assignment. Then compare, discuss similarities and differences. Compile, make up a list, plan, outline. Consider, describe, give your views on the subject. Contrast, discuss, differences, draw on own view. Criticize, point out weak points and strong points. Give a balanced answer. Define, give the meaning of a term. Demonstrate, show by example and evidence. Describe, provide a narrative on process, appearance, operation. Devise, make up. Discuss, give own thoughts, your thoughts, and support your opinion or conclusion. Evaluate, decide on merit or situation, argument, quality. Exemplify, show by giving example. Expand, give more information. Your assignment may have these words or more than this. And this is what you're supposed to do. This is a valuable information, I see. Because many people do not know these things. Very few books discuss such things. Then explain, give a reason why something is happening. Identify, pinpoint or list. Illustrate, give example. Indicate, point out briefly. Justify, support the argument with reason. List, make organized list 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D. Events, components, aspects. Outline, describe basic factor. Plan, think how to organize something. Report, give an account of the process or event. Review, write a report, give facts and views on facts. Show, demonstrate with supporting evidence. Specify, give details of something. State, give a clear description. Summarize, briefly give an account. Trace, provide a brief chronology, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock, or time. Work out, find a solution, as in a math problem. These are important terms. I don't see books that discuss such things. In that sense, this information is very useful, right? Okay. How should I respond to a question word? I won't discuss this because the earlier table tells this thing. Let's move ahead. Practical tips for organizing yourself for writing. Okay. explore the material, divide time for reading, conserve material, save it in your file. Finally, practice. Okay, now we move to second chapter, chapter 9, the format of academic writing. This is important because academic writing has format. One thing, there are 19 chapters in this book, right? One clever way to write your essay will be develop 19 paragraphs in your essay. How many? 19. Paragraph 1, summarize chapter 1 introduction. And suppose paragraph 8, paragraph 9. In paragraph 9, you begin by saying that academic writing has a format. That's a topic sentence. Use this heading. Use chapter title to develop topic sentence of your essay. Chapter 9, paragraph 9. Chapter 10, paragraph 10. Are you getting my point? I'm telling you how to write the essay. There are 19 chapters. You write 19 paragraphs. And omit this paragraph, you copy these key points in the paragraph. Or academic writing has format, right? Then write. Format means structure of the essay. Format means structure of the essay. Now get into the key topics. What are the always please read this topic paragraph carefully because it tells the subject of this chapter. Okay, key topics. General to specific to general format. Now look, what is general to specific? It's like this. You begin by saying writing is very important because it records our memory. There are dozens of types of writing. For example, but in this essay, I am going to discuss academic writing. You end. I am going to discuss academic writing. The word academic writing becomes specific. You began with general writing. You began your opening paragraph of the essay by talking about writing. Writing is general. Academic writing is specific. And you end your paragraph by saying this essay will discuss academic writing. You began the essay by saying writing is very important. It is one of the 4 basic skills of language learning. They are speaking, listening, reading and writing. There are different kinds of writings: business writing, medical writing, technical writing, professional writing, real writing, arts writing, TOEFL writing. But in this essay, I'm not going to discuss these writings. This essay will discuss what is academic writing. Finished, done. First essay done. Opening essay of the paragraph. Or you can say, academic writing is very different because, now add a sentence that says 3 or 4 important things. And then develop those 4 things into 19 things. And these 19 things means 19 paragraphs. Maybe if I get time, I will also write a paragraph along with you and we will bring together. Divakar Sir will write an essay having 21 paragraphs. Introduction paragraph, conclusion paragraph, and 19 discussion paragraphs. These 19 discussion paragraphs will summarize 19 chapters. And you will do the same. And I'll give my essay to you later on. You can compare where you could do, where you could not do. Okay. So general to specific, I have told you this thing even in first semester. I remember whenever I was teaching essays, I always tell the structure paragraph. Characteristics of introduction, main body and conclusion. The introduction begins with a general statement and ends with a specific thesis statement. Introduction ends with a thesis statement. For example, if I say, I open my essay, general statement, and I end my first paragraph by saying what? By saying what? Academic writing is completely different from all other writings. So I ended my first paragraph saying academic writing is completely different from all other writings. Now in the rest of the 19 paragraphs, I will show 19 characteristics of academic writing. Paragraph 2 will summarize chapter 2. Paragraph 3 will summarize chapter 3. Paragraph 4 will summarize chapter 4. Paragraph 5, chapter 5. Paragraph 6, chapter 6. Paragraph 7, chapter 7. Paragraph 8, chapter 8. And I know every chapter says something different. And I will argue that this is what makes academic writing. And these characteristics are not found in other writings. So what I am doing? I am summarizing these 19 paragraphs and arguing that these features make academic writing unique. Okay, models of planning and writing introductions, and we'll see later on. Taking word limits into account. Okay, now keywords, appendix, appendices. Appendix is what you add to your writing at the end. It is not integral part of writing, but people need to refer to it. Bibliography, list of books you read. Bibliography, list of books you read. And citation is, like for example, here they write chapter 15. If I write page 15, now I am citing page number, where I got this information from. Okay, move ahead. Let's finish this chapter. General to specific, I won't go into detail right now. I have told you, I gave example. General to specific format. There's one book, very good book. Don't read right now. Read sometime in the future. Wonderful book. Academic Writing for Graduate Students. Academic Writing for Graduate Students. This book is wonderful. Okay. So what does introduction do? See, there are three components of introduction. What are they? A brief explanation of the context of the topic. Like you begin by saying, these days writing is in focus in English classes. English teachers did not focus writing so much earlier, but now writing has become prominent in education. For example, in our new English course, we have for the first time we are studying academic writing. Academic writing was not taught in the previous English courses. This shows that writing is getting attention now. Context. We are doing academic writing as part of our English course. There are 6 units in our course, and 1 unit is for academic writing, that is given 16 hours. An outline of the topic or issue as you understand it. Let's make an outline before, right? Then, or let's say, in this essay, I will discuss what is academic writing. To do so, I will summarize the 19 chapters of my textbook. I will try to summarize one chapter in not more than 1 or 2 paragraphs. An explanation of how you plan to address the topic in this particular paper. So say, I will write about 21 paragraphs in this essay, and my 21 paragraphs will summarize the 19 chapters from the prescribed textbook. So what you are doing? You are telling the context, you are outlining the topic, and you are telling how you plan to address the topic. This is called POD, Plan of Development. Plan of Development. We call POD. POD is part of introduction. POD, plan of development. The other word for POD is thesis. See, understand, there is a difference between thesis and thesis statement. If we say, what's your thesis? You mean the big book, 100-page research. But when you say thesis statement, it's a single sentence. A thesis statement is always one sentence, not two sentences. A thesis statement is always single statement. Okay. The main body. Can I use subheadings in my written work? Yes, you can use, depends on the teacher. If a teacher says don't use, otherwise you can use subheadings. Conclusion. Okay. In conclusion, you repeat the most important ideas of the essay. You summarize specific evidence that you have presented, and you state overall viewpoint of the topic. You end your essay by giving your view. For example, you could say, I had no understanding. I never thought that writing could be this complex. But after reading this book, 19 chapters, I came to realize that academic writing is very complex because it follows a number of rules. Okay. Many conclusions, models for planning and writing, introductions and conclusions. You check appendices, there are models, appendix 4 and 5 at the end of the book. Let's do it right now. We are page 81. No, I'll waste my time. I won't go into that. Do you see I'm hurrying in the class and I'm deciding what to do, what not to do? Do you see, as a teacher, I'm taking decisions, taking word limits into account. Know that if the teacher says not more than 5,000 words, count your words. Some assignments have word limit, okay? Okay. Here is an example. Introduction, define the terms of reference. What is the internet? Explain its evolution. Assess the use of internet for the purpose of spreading information. Example. Define the term. Define what is internet. Define what is academic writing. Explain its evolution. Define how academic writing developed. Right? What is meant by information? What is meant by academic? What is academic in the word academic writing? Define the parameters of the discussion by outlining the format. Okay, identification of the categories of user, academic writing, okay, right. Format, organization, argument, language, evidence, critical thinking. There are 19 chapters, there are 19 words. Bring them in the definition. Use the key words in 19 chapters to define academic writing. Pick up the 19 words and say, academic writing can be defined in the following 19 words. Organization, format, argument, language, style, right? Okay. Then recognition of positive aspects, leave that. Main body, categories of user. Now you, in main body, chapter 2, define. What is chapter 2 what is in chapter 2, for example? Look how easy it is. It's not easy, but to say it's easy. But when you sit down to write, university writing in context, paragraph 2 begins like this. Academic writing is the kind of writing which is done in the university and it has a specific context. That's my topic sentence for paragraph 2. And here I write the word academic. Right? Sorry, the word university. Then main body. Okay, move ahead. Negative aspects, future potential, conclusion. In the light of the case you have presented, what is your view on the subject? Mini conclusion, category 1 for user. Now you decide whether once, if you really summarize the 19 paragraphs genuinely, without using AI or chat GPT or anything, by reading, by the time you come here, you will know so much you will be able to write the conclusion. You will feel like writing because you have read a lot. But I don't know if you take it seriously and do it or not. Okay. Should I limit the number of paragraphs in my assignment? I said 21 paragraphs. You can make it 23, you can make it 18, 17. Okay. So in this class, I explained chapter 8 and 9 only, right? I could do only 2 chapters because we saw there are so many important things and I had to explain. Hopefully I'll do rest of things tomorrow. And as I explained, go on doing your work. I told you today that there are 19 chapters. You can summarize in 19 paragraphs. And 2 paragraphs as introduction and conclusion. Or if somebody says, I'll write 30 paragraphs, fine, go on. Or 15 paragraphs, go on. Decide how to do. Thank you so much. Hope you read it once again at home. I did it very fast in class because I didn't have time. Thank you.